A games formula.
3, 2, 1.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hi! Hello! How's everybody doing? Hopefully everybody's doing okay. You know, I don't know who's the guitarist, but they were like getting it right. Hey, Miss LaShawna, I just found you. You're the big sister I always wanted. Love your wisdom, even though you have called a few of my behaviors out. I'm glad it was exposed, so now I can be corrected. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it, Miss LaShawna. I appreciate everybody. How is everybody doing? Come on, let's get 100 likes. We got 146 people. We got 70 people watching, so we real close. So bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button. Bam, bam. You gotta And I saw somebody mention my thumbnail. She just looks like a mundane person, but I specifically chose the thumbnail of Jasmine Cashmere, who is an ex-porn star. Now, I didn't know nothing about her until a few years ago when it was popping up on social media and stuff about porn star, and she, you know what I'm saying, now she give her life to God, to Christ, all this kind of stuff. And so it ended up reading up, and I'm like, oh, another 304 wants to be of God. Now they believe in God. Now she done gargled everything she could gargle on camera. Now she is of God. So I specifically chose her thumbnail for this, because she's quintessentially what I'm talking about. Other thumbnails I do is random. I actually try not to have any kind of well-known people or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, or whatever. But anytime I have somebody that people will know, it's for a reason. Thank you, Frederick. So I got a treat for y'all today. I have a video that's about 5 or so minutes long, about 5.5 minutes long. I'm gonna try to let it play out. It's like a clip of a talk show, and this is an older lady in her 50s that is an old 304, and she talking that 304 I done found the Lord talk. Okay. I'm gonna try to let it play on through. Okay, do y'all want me to let it play through, or y'all want me to chop it up and talk about it? I don't know. I'm gonna try to play it through. I really am. So let me actually just go ahead. church girl. This is an old 304, an old carousel rider. She was riding the carousel when it had, you know what I'm saying, the little caveman wheel on there. She was riding the carousel when they had a little chisel. She was riding the carousel. It didn't have little horses and stuff like that. It had old hieroglyphics as the thing that you rode. So that's an ancient 304. Oh my goodness. Y'all gonna have me silly today. Anyway, I want to go ahead and I am going to share my screen so everyone can see.
Dude, it's a vague. When I first came to the Lord, I will admit I was very sexually active. I loved it, still do. It's a vague memory, but banner, everybody, banner. Hey, I'm keeping it real now. This girl talk. I took a day off from work to fast and pray and beg Jesus. I said, I gave you my cigarettes, I gave you my party. Can we at least keep this? And the Lord kept it real with me too. He said, so Michelle, you swung from chandeliers and done all kinds of crazy stuff with all these guys. Where has it gotten you? Are you married to any of them yet? So when your girlfriends who want to keep doing that tell you it's not working, look at them and tell them, but you sleeping with him is not working either because you still not married. Hello? And you know what? When I go for my little visit with the doctor every year to get everything checked out, I don't go in fear because I know ain't nothing been going on, so ain't no diseases. Of this, your body is a temple. The Holy Spirit.
Okay, I got to stop it right before she gets to talking about her body and it being a temple. Now all of a sudden it's a temple.
Lives there.
Now, she seemed to be familiar. It's almost like I should know who she is, but I don't. Anyway, she talked about being a 304. Talking about she fasted and prayed. Talking about I gave up my cigarettes, I gave up my partying. Can we keep this? After you done utilized it in every single way that God told you not to do. In every way possible that you could defy the rules and regulations that this same God told you about. Thank you, Miss Lou Casely. Now all of a sudden, you understand about the Holy Spirit live inside of you. Now you understand that? I am going to break that down. So far, after we get done with this clip, I decided I'm not going to stop the clip no more. Because I want everybody to hear what this chick is saying. All female audience. all older women whose lives have not succeeded in the lost value system. Failed 304s. Failed. Couldn't secure the bag. Couldn't secure in her youth when she wanted to spend the money. When she wanted to go around. She couldn't secure these men when she was running around. I'm just going to let it play. I'm just going to let it play. Please be patient. I'm just going to let it play out.
What do we call rape? When someone is taken against their will, the Holy Spirit lives inside of you, and you are deliberately disobeying God and sleeping with somebody. So now you're subjecting the Holy Spirit to rape. He's not leaving the room when you sleep with that guy. And you know, for me, it comes down to, you know, of course I know all the biblical stuff about fornication, and you know, my body is you know, a living sacrifice now. I carry God within me and all of that. But for me, it comes down to a simpler question at this point in my life, at the nice old age of 53. Who do I love more? Do I love the Lord, who has been there as men have come and gone in my life? He's been the constant. He is the lover of my soul. He is my first husband. Until he releases me into the arms of someone who's willing to lay down their life for me like he did, you don't get none of this.
Now somebody got to lay down their life. But for what? You just sat up here. She is no different than the young lady that I did the video on earlier that sat somewhere and told people how she didn't have no value. You don't have no value. And you telling people you don't have none. Now some man got to think so highly of you that he gonna lay down his life for you? For what value? And it goes so far beyond the physical sexual acts. It actually goes so far beyond that. So far beyond that. Anyway, I said I was gonna let it play. Anyway, but I had to point that out. Now all of a sudden you know about the control of your nafs, the control of your lower self, the control of your carnal desire. Now you understand control.
And my passion and my energy, because I have a healthy respect for passion, and I know it can cost me in the end. How much does your love cost? How much does your body cost? If you think your body's only worth 2 cents, you need to go back to the mirror and ask the Holy Spirit to show you your reflection through His eyes, what your worth is. And when you look at Him in the face when He starts to touch you, and you tell Him, honey, I love you enough never to want to be sorry that I slept with you. I'm going to help you honor God, and I'm going to honor God, and we're both going to have peace and joy in this, because a man falls in love with you based on how he feels when he's with you. You don't want him to be frustrated or guilty. Those are not two good emotions. Let Him honor you and give Him the responsibility of covering your holiness.
Give Him the responsibility. Thank you, Pound for Pound. So I'm late to the cookout. Is this a 304 hyena finally turning her life around? Oh, yes. Yes, it is. Give Him the responsibility. Your spiritual value is your own responsibility, ladies. Yours. Yours. Before I let this finish, I need to talk to y'all about that. Let me take a look at y'all. Let me look y'all in y'all face when I say this to y'all. Your spiritual value is your responsibility alone. Now, you can be in a family setting, you can be in a community setting, you can be in a masjid, you can be in a church home and have the support That's fine. That's fine to have the support, the external support. But your spirituality, your connection with God is your responsibility. Because when you stand before the Lord, and I don't know who believe in it and who don't, but I do. Because when you stand before the Lord on that day, you will stand alone. You will stand alone. You will answer to him alone about what you did, about what you didn't do, about what order you didn't follow. Not what he didn't do and she didn't do and what this one made you do and what that one said you had to do. A lot do not want to hear it. Because he gave you orders. You. And it was your responsibility to follow them orders. And he don't want to hear nothing else. You either did or you didn't. Like Master Yoda said, there is do and do not. There is no try. There's only partial responsibility that your husband has with your spirituality, and that is to lead you in it and to be capable of leading you in it. If he see you slipping and things of that nature in your walk with God, he is supposed to help you pick it back up. But it's your responsibility to pick it back up. Thank you, Miss Tamika. Thank you, Son God. I'm sorry I saw you, sweetheart. Thank you. So it's your responsibility. Putting the onus on men to save your soul, knock it off. Your spiritual value should be intact. Yours. You think you're going to pull that liberal, I'm a feminist, and therefore I'm a woman and a victim card with the Most High if you want to, but it's not going to work. We're going to talk about this liberal view of who God, quote unquote, supposed to be. I'm going to let the video finish.
Put it on him. What she said is absolutely correct. Sex is worship.
Yes.
Really. In the word where it says Adam knew, that same word is used for worshiping God. Worshiping means to kiss forth, to kiss God. It says that you become one with that person. How many of you here have noticed that it's harder for you to break up with someone you slept with versus someone you did sleep with? Everybody knows that, right? And it's because you become one with that person. And most of the time you can't stand that person by the time they leave. But what you're grieving over is the parts of yourself that you cannot get back. Because you've given yourself here. And you cannot get it back. And meanwhile, you call that man Lord. What is sex? What is worship? They're both giving all you have and all you are to the one you love. And God has called for a worship where we are naked and unashamed, taking us back to the garden in the aspect of kingdom living, righteousness, right standing with God, peace, and joy in the Holy Ghost. You cannot experience that while you're being convicted of sin. And so there's a place for sex because God will applaud that type of worship once you've made the right covenant. Covenant. It's communion. It is covenant. Because, you said joining with demons, but there's a lot of brothers in the church that can praise God with one hand and fill your butt with the next. So there you go. But sometimes,
Because at some point, you gotta say that the men ain't nothing either. But okay.
that's a demon too. But it's somebody masquerading that they love the Lord. So let's not get it twisted that whether they're in the church
the end of that. Let me stop sharing. Thank you, Eugene. So from what I'm watching so far, this female is capping. A few weeks ago, Carrie Pope said that God is not here to save you. You have to save yourself. Wow. Thank you, Booba. Said 304 wants a good man, but God sent her what she needed. God has been there and done that. Next. Right. Thank you, Miss Tamika. Okay. I think I got everybody. Okay. So y'all was able to hear that. Y'all was able to hear that. Y'all was able to see that. And I wanted y'all to hear it. I gotta get my likes up. 438 people, 239 likes. Come on, bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button. Bam, bam. You gotta Come on. First of all, thank you, Too Tall. You cannot just walk away from that lifestyle you've been living over to God and don't think there are still any repercussions or consequences for that. Going to God don't erase your consequences. It don't erase that stuff. You did that stuff. You cannot wash away disobedience to God with fake spirituality. You can't do that. That is not how God works. Let's talk about the reasons why they like to try to play this God thing when they get tired of being on the carousel. You get tired of being on the stroll. You get tired of being pumped and dumped and used and feeling empty and feeling bitter and feeling unfulfilled and at the end of your wits. And then you think you could just stroll over to God and it's supposed to be as if you did nothing. That's fake spirituality, because the spiritual value, it is in the lost value system, but it don't have no truth to it. See, that's number one that I think folks should not forget. There is a spiritual value within the lost value system, but it doesn't contain any truth. So there is a such thing as fake spiritual value. The fake spiritual value is making up in your mind who you want God to be, still dodging the accountability to God. This is still an accountability dodging, because these black women think God is for old women, not young women. They think church and God and worship and the Bible and all of that stuff is for old women, not young women. Just like people think heaven is for purity and worship, and down here is for your desires. Heaven is a reward place where your desires are fulfilled. The work of the worship should be done here. I probably blew somebody's head up with that. Heaven is not the place where we become angels and no longer have human desires. Do y'all realize that? Heaven is a place of reward. God will reward the human being with what the human being like. See, it was here on this earth that you were supposed to have the discipline. Can't go all out. Can't do what you want to do. Moderation. You got to do a little bit. You can have sex, but you got to be married. You can eat food, but not in excess. And not particular kinds of food either. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can interact, but you only can interact with certain kinds of people at certain times for certain reasons. No full intermingling of the men and women in society, because that'll cause chaos. Allah know what He doing. Understand that heaven is not where you play a harp and all of a sudden you don't have any desires anymore. That's I am not gonna get into what Islam teaches about that. You be married in paradise to your husband, to your wife. You realize there's sex in paradise, right? Did y'all know that? Did you realize that? You get married in heaven. Thank you, Uncle Stu. Said mic drop. Teach, teach, teach. It's paradise for a reason. Because it's a reward. Because see, sex isn't dirty. You just got to be married to do it. He gave you sex organs. Why do you think He did that? Why do you think it feel good? Where was Adam and Eve at when they got married? What do you think the garden is? Thank you again, pound for pound. So Crimson, don't bust their head open with that spiritual gem. I know I'm talking about Islam. I made that pretty clear. And I know everybody in here ain't Muslim. I know. I'm just saying. Sex is not dirty. If I gotta stay right there for a minute. It's not. Sex outside of the boundaries of what the Most High said it should be is wrong. But not sex. The act itself. I'm gonna give y'all this and then I'm gonna do a commercial break. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, told his companions, having sex with your wife is a is an act of worship to Allah. And they said, what? Allah take that as an act of worship? Yeah. Prophet said, yeah, because don't he punish you if you have sex with a woman, not your wife? Isn't that an act of disobedience? He punishes you for that, right? They say, yeah, so he rewards you for doing it right. If he punishes you for doing it wrong, he rewards you for doing it right. Y'all, I don't know who was ready for that one. I'm going to cut to this commercial, and then I'm going to be back to break down the hiding behind fake spiritual value. Thank you, Phineas, for the collection plate. Afternoon, Kendra. Thank you. We'll be back.
We're A-Game, a 100% Black-owned company with an all-natural product and world-class customer service. We're headquartered in California, and we manufacture, package, and ship right here in the United States. We ship to more than 125 distributors worldwide. Normal processing is 2 to 3 days, and we employ virtual tracking until our product is received. So, no matter where you are in the world, here we come, and we're bringing your A-game.
Y'all still absorbing it? I know a lot of y'all not Muslim. Trust and believe. I ain't trying to push it on you. Don't feel invaded or violated. I ain't pushing it on you. You ain't gotta believe it. But I do. Let's get back to God ain't for old folk. See, when you really living for God, you are a believer in God. You are obeying God when it would be convenient for you not to obey. Not when you're forced to obey. Thank you, Mahir. So Allah stated he created the system called humanity and placed us all in this system called humanity. We have no authority to defile his system. Exactly. Exactly. True worship is the obedience to the Most High when it would be convenient for you to be disobedient. When you are young and fine and hot and the dudes all on you, the sacrifice is to ignore it and do what the Most High told you to do. That's the sacrifice. Not when the men are no longer looking at you. Now you ain't got no choice. Now you want to come over here and act like you was rolling with God the whole time. Now you trying to hide them bodies behind God's mercy, behind his grace, behind his leniency, or your support. You think he lenient. You hope he's lenient. See, too many folk don't understand what that grace is about. They don't know what that grace is about. Grace don't cover your willful disobedience. That is not what grace covers. Y'all ain't heard me today. See, this is what your pastor don't tell you. Grace don't cover your willful disobedience. Punishment come for that. Thank you, Datorian. Grace comes from your obedience and then the shortcoming of your humanity to not be perfectly obedient at all times. Thank you again, Miss Lucas. I'm a Catholic. I've never felt you were pushing your religion on me. That's why I trust that you are doing this for the right reason. Thank you so much. Because I don't want nobody to feel like because I'm Muslim, I think everybody in my chat got to be. Because I don't. I respect everybody's differences here. Grace don't cover your willful disobedience. Grace covers I'm obedient, and there are times when I fall short of that because God know he did not create perfection. He know he didn't do it. Grace is for the effort. You make the effort of obedience. You make the effort not to disobey. And then the Most High extends his forgiveness over you. I'll look past it. I'll look past it. I'll overlook the shortcoming. I'll forgive the shortcoming because you make the effort consistently to do what I want. That is the clemency of the Most High. That's the leniency. That's the grace. That's the love. Not for the willfully disobedient. Because when she's doing her whole thing, thank you again, pound for pound, said grace don't cover your willful disobedience. That's a spiritual bar. Yes. See, she hide behind God in her youth when she hoeing. Only God can judge me. This is why they say it. The reason why they say only God can judge me is several reasons. Number one, she don't really believe in the existence of the Most High. That's number one. She don't really believe in that. Number two, she knows she out of pocket spiritually. It's in her intrinsically to understand that I am out of pocket spiritually, and therefore there's a judgment for that. But I don't want you to do it. I want God to do it. And the reason why she thinks she wants God to do it is because she has been made to believe in this liberal, all-inclusive, ain't no blame nowhere. We don't punish nobody. I love everything and everybody, God. And number four, she believes the judgment is far off. This is why she wait till she old to try to turn to God, because that's when she think God looking at her. She's closer to her death. She see her mortality. And so therefore, let me try to do one or two little things that I think God want me to do after I had my fun. I made no sacrifice. I've been backed into a corner by my age, by the men's diminishing attention, by the emptiness of myself. I've been backed into a corner to do what I think God want me to do now. What I think he want me to do. Still ain't cracked that Bible to figure it out. Still ain't cracked the Quran to figure it out. Forgot about the Old Testament God. Forgot about the God in the Quran that say he's swift and he's severe in his punishments. Thank you, Gary. See, they got that whole that white baby Jesus stuff going on in their head. Not God in the book. Thank you, Well Beats. Alhamdulillah, sis, you dropping some powerful gems. Hopefully somebody pick them up. See, they think that they got this white baby Jesus stuff going. And you know, God loves everything. No, he don't. No, he don't. I'm sorry. No, he don't. God loves everybody. God wants you to do what he say. He wants everybody to do what he say. I don't know about nobody else, but if you are Muslim and you read the Quran, Allah states specifically who he don't like. He don't like the mushrikun. He don't like the munafiqun. He don't like the kafirun. He don't like the fasiqun. I'm not even gonna translate them words. The Muslims know what I'm talking about. Now, if they stop doing that, if they stop being those things, sure, everybody welcome. Just everybody ain't gonna make it. You forgot about the God that made the Israelites roam the wilderness for 40 years. You forgot about him. He just ain't gonna lead you to the promised land, all y'all. There's a few of y'all about to get swallowed by the earth. It's a few of y'all. Thank you, Miss Me C said, much of what you're saying is true for Christians as well. Many have turned the grace and mercy of God into license to live loose for their own comfort and benefit as if God doesn't see and know all. Mashallah. Yes. That's why I said grace is not for willful disobedience. But she's willfully disobedient. Only God can judge me because she's pretending that the life she lives, the debauchery that she does, the deviancy that she involves herself in is somehow separate from her heart and her character. When in point of fact, the life you live, the life you choose to live is a direct indication of what is in your mind, what is in your heart, and thus your character. That's why I say a woman's sexual history is her character. I don't be just talking to be talking. Thank you, Patrick. Talk just to talk. Y'all think I get on here and bump my gums just to be bumping my gums? Thank you, ex-church girl said, thank you for the truth and no problem. What you do with your life, what you do with your body, since we think it's a temple. And it is. But the most important part of that temple, you ruin. What's the most important part of the body? What's the most important part of your body? The heart, not even the brain. The heart. And it's the one part of our body we do not safeguard. Thank Thank you, Black Goku. Said, I've seen this growing up this day. Most of them are like convenient Christians. They cherry pick the scriptures that make feel better about themselves. It's the heart. See, it ain't even the brain. The body can live with a dead brain. You heard of people being brain dead, but they heart pump. The body lives. But you ain't never heard nobody live heart dead. There's scripture in the Quran, loose English translation, that Allah brings out the dead from among the living and then brings out the living from among the dead. And it is Allah that revives the dead heart. Thank you again, Miss Tamika. Said, please get out of my prayer closet. Lord help us. Because somebody need to hear it today. Allah brings out the living from the dead and then brings out the dead from the living. And it is Allah who revives the dead hearts. And that heart is the very thing that we corrupt. That's why your actions are corrupt. That's why your thinking is corrupt. That's why your body is corrupt. That's why your life is corrupt. Because the heart is dead. Thank you, Mally. So, assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. Wish I found your content before I get married the second time. To my now ex-gynocratic like wife, you have been extremely helpful. Thank you. The worship of God, whether you are Muslim, Christian, or other, is something you do every day. Not when it's convenient. Not when the world done whooped you, now you're tired. Thank you once again, pound for pound, said Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is more treacherous than anything else. I'm sorry I'm hitting y'all with some Islam today, because that's in me. I can't help it. Sometime y'all gonna get that. The prophet warned his companions by telling them the heart gets rusted, as does iron with water. The companions asked, O Prophet of Allah, what could clean the hearts again? Two things. Frequent remembrance of death and the recitation of the Quran. Remember your mortality. Remember your meeting with Allah and Allah's word. He told the companions again, if you can safeguard two things, I promise you paradise. If you can safeguard two things, Allah promises you paradise. Y'all want to know what the two things are? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to know what the two things are. That if you safeguard it, you can have paradise guaranteed to you. Two things. What's between your lips and what is between your legs? That was his answer. If you safeguard the tongue and you safeguard the private parts, Jannah. Because them the two things that rust the heart, that blacken the heart, that deaden the heart. What we say out of our mouths and what we do with them private parts is the two biggest pitfalls of mankind, period. The two things that these women have the least control over. The least control over her mouth. The least control of her sexual organs. This is why I talked about discipline. See, y'all think I just be talking. So you have to have discipline for submission. Thank you, Bogoko, said Ether coming through my TV screen, local and national moving services. I don't just be talking. Discipline is for submission. Gotta have discipline for that. To submit to the Most High. See, you can't submit to men because you can't even submit to God. God wants your submission of your own free will. That's why he don't make you do it. Because that ain't submission, that's coercion. This is why confessions under duress and coercion are not admissible in court. Because if I torture you to get a confession, it might be fake because you might be saying something just to get out of the situation right now. Submission is come with discipline because it take discipline to submit. I'm going to hit you with something else Islamic. In Allah's eyesight, the righteous human being, man or woman, has a higher station than the angels. Did y'all know that? Put a 2 in the chat if you want to know why. The reason why Islam says that the human being, a righteous human being, has greater station than the angels is because the angels do not have free will. The human being does. And if they choose righteousness, if they choose submission, then they are the highest spiritual being because they are not doing so under force or duress, and they are doing so under the pressure to be disobedient. This world invites us every day to the disobedience of the Most High. And for those of us who can resist that and submit to the orders of the Most High, in spite of the fact that I technically can go do what I want to do because he gave me free will, makes me of a higher spiritual station. It is more valuable to the Most High that you submit because you want to. Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you again, Patrick said, please speak. Do we work for Allah? He does not work for us, but he gives us what we need to carry out his orders. Exactly. Exactly. Hey, Chicago. How you doing, Rilla? I know I saw your name. Hold on. Let me mod you real quick. This is why they not gonna submit to nothing, that they don't submit to the order. This is why we go to the spiritual value to talk about this disobedience and this waywardness of the women, because it is a spiritual issue. That is why the solution begins with the spiritual value. It began with the spiritual value, because if you have no discipline, no self-control, how you gonna achieve anything of these 10 life values? You cannot do it. Thank you, Damien. If you call yourself a Christian, or you call yourself a Muslim, or whatever denomination that you are in, it all calls for some form of self-discipline. You cannot do what you want to do. Why do you think we have a Quran? Why do you think there's a such thing as a Bible? You think somebody got time to waste to try to tell you how to live? Just for you to not do it. Then for you to get old and close to your deathbed, now you want to call on the Lord. Thank you again, Gary. Said a heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I'm on my preaching thing. I kind of didn't mean, but I knew I was going to go down this road. Anytime I start talking about spirituality, I'm going to go down this road. I apologize to any who I may have offended. It was not my intention. Thank you again, Philip. That even if one was to remove religion from our talking points, you're still breaking down a sad state of affairs piece by piece. Education is religion neutral. Yes. So anything that I said to offend, please forgive. Anything good comes from Allah. Thank you, Muhammad. Walaikum assalam. Say, assalamu alaikum, Kendra. What is a 304? That's just another way to say a hoe. If you remember old school calculators, if you had one and you press 304 and then you turn it upside down, it's HOE. That's what it is. Thank you, C. So no apologies needed. What's in your heart came out. Thank you, sweetheart. Okay. This sermon was brought to you by A Game. And what is A Game? A Game is a male herbal solution with 21 wonderful herbs and no artificial ingredients. So, fellas, if you want to be on your A game, ladies, you got men in your life that you need them to be on their A game. All you got to do is click the link at the top of the chat, agameherbal.com. And you can get a 10% discount using the code Kendra10. And then you can have this box of awesomeness delivered to you ASAP. Okay, and I want to thank everyone once again for their very generous contributions, for the time, for the likes, just for your attention for this hour. And I want to thank my wonderful support system and team. Y'all are like awesome, right? Because I can't do this without you guys. So, oh, and I got a surprise that I'm going to let y'all know about today or tomorrow morning. I'm gonna let y'all know. So be ready for that. I'm gonna put it on my community tab when I can. So just be on the lookout for that. And I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye, Crimsonites. Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.